Tonight on KGW News, the search for a Portland arsonist whose crime turned Amazon delivery vans into burned out shells.
The whole frames are melted completely. It's a pretty wild thing to see right here in town.
Plus, a wild chase on local roads and highways caught on camera, then two teenagers making a run for it. What police now say they found inside the vehicle.
We had enough to potentially kill the whole city of Portland.
Then our weather impact alert indoors with even hotter temperatures in store. And later, how a local dog refusing to be upstaged by cats in trees gave firefighters a new reason to come to the rescue. But we begin tonight with that weather impact alert. 77 degrees in the Rose City on a day where we made it into the low 90s with temperatures set to soar even higher for your Tuesday. Chief Meteorologist Matt Spinos here with the first look at your forecast. Matt.
Hey, David. Yeah, we'll gain a few more degrees tomorrow over today. The weather impact alert continues into tomorrow night. There is a moderate heat risk. More than likely, you won't end up looking like that guy on your hands and knees with heat radiating off your back because it's a moderate heat risk. It's not extreme, but you do want to take it easy in the hottest part of the day and make sure you hydrate, give enough water to your pets and your plants because it will be very low humidity again. Now, we're running 8 degrees warmer now compared to this time last night, which makes sense because we're about 11 degrees warmer with our high temperature. All of Western Oregon, in fact, most of Oregon is warmer now compared to 24 hours ago. We're still sitting at 80 degrees. We're not often at 80 degrees at 11 o'clock at night. So again, it is a warm evening out there, but temperatures should fall to the low 60s by morning, giving us some relief. But the heat advisory continues until 11 o'clock tomorrow night because it's going to be hot again tomorrow. We now also have a red flag warning for parts of the gorge in eastern Oregon because of the combination of strong east winds and the low humidity that'll be out there tomorrow. So low to mid 90s tomorrow, then it gets much cooler, and then we get rain. That's exciting. We'll talk about that in a bit, David.
Definitely need the rain. Thanks, Matt. Developing tonight, the search for an arsonist after someone torched 4 Amazon delivery vehicles in the Rose City, and fire investigators are now asking for your help tracking down the culprit. Alma McCarty has the story.
In southwest Portland, just after 2:30 Monday morning,
they're very difficult to extinguish.
Portland fire and rescue crews stood watch at a Rivian overflow lot where they keep vehicles, particularly ones being serviced, as 4 electric vans, Amazon delivery vehicles, burned down to a shell.
So the best thing to do is allow the batteries to actually just be consumed. The fire consumes all the fuels available, and then we can just put the remaining shell out.
A couple blocks away, Mark Allen says he didn't see the fire, but he heard it start.
I happened to be up in the middle of the night and my window was open, and I heard a small explosion, which is not uncommon. Kind of assumed it might be fireworks. But then I started hearing cars honking their horns, followed by people shouting.
That first explosion soon followed by another.
I closed the window and went back to bed, and very shortly thereafter, I felt and heard a much larger explosion that shook the house.
Now, based on preliminary evidence, fire investigators say the fires were intentionally set. Firefighters say it is too early to know whether the Amazon vans were targeted.
Whole frames are melted completely.
Some passersby aren't surprised to hear this is arson.
It's Portland, so it happens, but it's a shame.
And David, Portland Fire and Rescue really asking for the public's help with this one. If you have any information or saw suspicious activity around this area, we have an email and a number to call on kgw.com.
Yeah, it happens, but it shouldn't happen. Alma McCarty in the newsroom there. Thanks, Alma. New at 11, the owners of a Milwaukee record shop are asking for help finding this burglar caught on camera rummaging through their store. The owners of B-Side Records told us their alarm started going off early this morning and they spotted someone on a surveillance live stream going through their record room. They later discovered they'd broken in the back door. The owners estimate this person stole some $5,000 worth of records and cash. They'll add they have some loyal customers helping take some of the sting out of it.
Yeah, it was a horrible thing to wake up to, but also throughout the course of the day today, we have just had like an outpouring of support and community members stopping by, bringing, coffee and hugs.
Yeah, funny how that happens. B-Side has set up a GoFundMe as well. Milwaukee police confirm, yes, they are on the case, but don't have information to share yet about a suspect or arrest. Meanwhile, tonight there is a very specific theft warning from Vancouver police. They say thieves there have been targeting one make and model and stealing tires and rims. They posted this photo of some of the damage. It turns out 4 cars have been hit in the last few weeks, all 2020 Toyota Corollas. In each case, police say the suspects took off all 4 tires and the rims and left the cars on blocks, and they appear to be striking overnight. You have been warned. In an update, one of the people in this vehicle caught on ODOT cameras driving recklessly around Northeast Portland Saturday, authorities say, appeared in court today. That car blowing through stoplights, swerving onto the shoulder on I-205 to get around traffic. Police eventually using spike strips to stop the car and the driver bailing out, making a run for it. Officers caught up with him. Turns out he's a minor and a 19-year-old passenger as well. That man is Elvin Santos Rosales, who was in court today. Investigators say they found about 9 pounds of fentanyl in the car, packaged and ready to be sold. That's 4.4 kilos, as prosecutors explained, a very potent amount.
We'd like to note for your honor that DEA.gov notes that 2 milligrams is considered a lethal dose. So he had enough to potentially kill the whole city of Portland.
The whole city of Portland. The driver is in juvenile custody and also facing charges. The new information tonight in the search for Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie, who was abducted from her Arizona home nearly 5 months ago. Now, NBC News reporting one of the ransom notes sent to media outlets after her disappearance said she had died. Liz Kreutz has the update.
Tonight, for the first time, NBC News is reporting new details about one of 2 notes sent to media outlets regarding Nancy Guthrie's abduction. According to 3 people familiar with the matter, the second note indicated the 84-year-old had died. It did not contain an apology or any request for payment for the release of her body. After that note was sent, Savannah and her siblings posted this message.
We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
That note was sent just days after media outlets received an alleged ransom note saying Nancy was safe and demanding cryptocurrency in exchange for her release. Investigators involved in the case believe the notes are potentially credible, a sentiment shared by Savannah.
There are a lot of different notes, I think, that came, and I think most of them, it's my understanding, are not real. I believe the 2 notes that we received, that we responded to, I tend to believe those are real.
Months later, investigators are still trying to identify this masked man seen on Nancy's Nest camera the night she was taken. The Pima County Sheriff's Office says Google, which owns Nest, has retrieved hundreds of other images from cameras around her house, but nothing more showing anything suspicious.
Liz Kreutz reporting there. Despite the contents of that note becoming public, there have been no breaks in the case. The Guthrie family still offering a reward and begging for information. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, a man was killed by a truck in Newburgh while riding his e-bike home to Dundee to celebrate his birthday. This was on Sunday evening on Hancock Street near Harrison. Police say Paul Ruscialelli had just turned 68 years old. His bike somehow collided with a truck towing a boat. The driver stayed at the scene and is cooperating with investigators. In Vancouver, a 14-year-old was hurt in the 4th shooting in that city within a couple weeks. Police are still trying to figure out if any of these are connected. The latest at an apartment complex Sunday morning on General Anderson Avenue. Witnesses say they saw about 20 people outside and a car leaving after shots were fired. In another shooting last week about 3 miles away, a 19-year-old named London Walker died. A suspect was arrested in that case.
It's very concerning when we have gun crimes, especially involving young people in residential areas. So yes, definitely something we're concerned about.
Vancouver police are asking anyone with information about any of these shootings to please come forward. A well-known reporter for the Oregonian has died from a rare form of cancer and at the age of 33. Zane Sparling had been fighting cancer for 2 years, though was filing stories until just last week. Sparling joined the Oregonian and Oregon Live in 2021. His colleagues saying he was a talented writer and someone who had a lot of empathy for the people he was covering. So important. And a traffic alert on I-5 through Salem, where all lanes are now closed overnight as crews work to remove a bridge. The work centered between exits 248 and 252 on the south side of town. This is the old Battle Creek Road Bridge. The freeway now completely shut down until 5 a.m. Keep in mind this will repeat Tuesday and Wednesday nights. New tonight from Washington, D.C., a rare bipartisan achievement. That's because the Senate has passed a bill aimed at bringing down home prices and increasing supply. So here's what it would do. It bans corporate investors from buying single-family homes. It streamlines environmental reviews to speed up construction, and it offers funding to local governments who build more housing, including turning abandoned buildings into homes. The House is expected to give its approval later this week, with President Trump also signaling his support.